Is it really the final straw for plastic? Take that straw out of your mouth. Cities are increasingly cracking down on single-use plastic straws. Americans use about 500 million straws a day, which works out to 1.5 straws a citizen every 24 hours. In the UK, 8.5 billion plastic straws are used each year. Straws are difficult to recycle and usually end up in landfills or being incinerated, but they are increasingly clogging up waterways and oceans as well. Cities worldwide are increasingly discouraging the use of straws, with some even outright banning them. Others have vowed to phase out plastics over the next decades. Plastic straw alternatives have also started to gain in popularity. They are made from materials like bamboo, metal, glass, paper, potato, or corn paste. But let's be honest, can you really teach an old dog new tricks? It's still everywhere.
China doesn't want the UK's recycled plastic anymore. Rich countries are now scrambling to find other places to dump their garbage after China's recent plastics ban. China imported 7.3 million tons of plastic waste in 2017 from the US, the EU, the UK, and Japan. But starting this year, it's banning 24 categories of recyclables and solid waste. Britain alone sends around 2/3, about 500,000 tons, of its recycled plastic to China every year. UK recycling firms are now looking to Malaysia and Vietnam. However, both those countries have capacity issues. Unless other alternative markets can be found, the plastics will have to be sent for incineration or dumped in a landfill. Well, we could always start launching all of our garbage into space. Straws are a huge part of the global plastic problem. The world has a huge plastics problem, but it's totally going to get better. No, it's not. Plastic straws are increasingly drawing attention from conservation movements. In the U.S. alone, Americans discard around 500 million plastic straws a day, enough to circle the globe twice or fill 125 school buses. Straws are normally not recycled because they're often made from several different types of plastics and they're small in size. Straw pollution contributes to the 8 million tons of plastic dumped into oceans each year. At the current rate, there will be more plastic than fish in the water by 2050. Reusable glass straws, stainless steel, copper, and bamboo are all more sustainable alternatives than single-use plastic straws. The UK says it plans to include straws in its ban on all plastic waste by 2042. 2042? Wow, Britain. Really taking the lead on the conservation front there.
Waste plastic can help build cheaper homes. A New York startup has developed an innovative way to recycle waste plastic, converting it into an alternative building material that can be used to build affordable housing. The bifusion machine can be powered by propane gas or electricity. It can process all types of plastic waste. The plastic waste does not have to be reprocessed. Instead, it's shredded inside the machine before it's made into a new material called replast and compressed into bricks. The replast bricks are not as strong as concrete, so are reinforced with steel rods, wire, and layers of mortar. The company said replast has been used in projects including retaining walls in New Zealand and California, which have withstood environmental tests including earthquakes. The company has so far raised around $30,000 of a $250,000 target on Indiegogo. On its campaign page, it says the bifusion machine will likely be available in the U.S. by May next year.
Most of the plastic in the ocean comes from these countries. Plastic waste is slowly but surely taking over the world's oceans, and the bulk of them apparently comes from just 5 Asian countries. A study from Ocean Conservancy estimates that 55 to 60% of plastic polluting the oceans comes from 5 countries: China, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. Uncollected and mismanaged waste on land accounts for about 80% of the 8 million metric tons of trash that flow into the oceans each year. Environmental organization Greenpeace claims corporations are also at fault for selling products in single-use plastic packaging, especially in so-called sachet economies like the Philippines. Various studies have shown that plastic pollution negatively impacts marine animals and may be indirectly affecting humans through the food chain. Fortunately, improving waste management practices in the 5 countries can result in a 45% reduction of global plastic waste leakage by 2025. In tackling plastic pollution, everyone has a role to play. From governments and big conglomerates to the people on the street, every bit helps.